Red Green, and this time around, Harold's gonna pretend he's God, Bill's gonna launch a boat, and I'm building a kiddie ride for the backyard.
And now, here's a man who's been called one of Canada's national treasures, your host, my uncle, Mr. Red Green.
Thank you so much, and hello to Harold, who is also a national treasure, and if I had my way, would be buried by pirates.
Well, until that time, let's just let my fingers walk the plank. Nothing happened. My ADO didn't video flange the image.
No, and your dudingus didn't flip-flop the thingy there.
Exactly, yeah, well, yes. My skew is off.
You know, there's something that I do to our TV at home. Where's the horizontal hold on this thing?
Well, that's that one right there.
There?
Yeah.
All right, just hold still. That usually works at home. Mind you, we have the beta. Interesting week up at the lodge this week. You know, all the power went off during a big thunderstorm. So the guys all went out and gathered up firewood so that we could keep warm. And then when the power came back on, it didn't, you know. So what had happened was Junior Singleton had cut down a power line pole to use as firewood. So now we're thinking, what else can we use for electricity around here? And we started thinking about Possum Lake. Now, Possum Lake has got so much acid in it, and it's got lead, cadmium, and zinc. You know, in a certain way, the lake is like a big battery. So we got thinking and drinking, and out we come with all our jumper cables. We hooked up all the jumper cables to the car batteries. We tried to jumpstart Possum Lake, you know. Now, unfortunately, somebody had reversed the polarity on their cables, and something real strange happened, and we ended up magnetizing the whole lake. Wow. Your video effects have just arrived, Harold.
What? That's like 40 seconds late.
You know what? It might have something to do with Possum Lake. There's a magnetic field around here now, like everybody's watch is running backwards.
Oh, it's like an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, or Bewitched. Oh, never mind. Anyway, we're all working hard to demagnetize the lake because everybody's belt buckles point north and it's real hard to walk into town. But hopefully none of this will get in the way of a real attractive show we have for you tonight. So just bear with us and please don't adjust your set.
Especially your channel knob.
That's right. Take us away, Harold. Oh, boy. I always wanted to direct. When a man can live alone in the woods with only his wits and a big knife for equivalent, without the comfort of a home or a job or a friend, boy, that's really something if he can live there without coming to an end. It fills his heart with so much pride. It's not exactly enjoyable, but it's a lot less humiliating than trying to borrow money. This week on Handyman Corner, I'm going to show you how to make your own amusement park. I got this idea from Harold and his teenage buddies. They go down to the Pinecone Festival there, and they pay $3 each for the privilege of riding around on one of them things where they spin in a circle for 40 seconds, and then they barf up their slush puppy and their cheese dog. And I thought to myself, golly, there's got to be a cheaper way to have that kind of fun. So today, I'm going to show you how to make your very own backyard kiddie ride. Now, the first thing you're going to need is one of them old-fashioned clotheslines. I was lucky enough to find this one just sticking out of the ground behind somebody's house. And now the first thing you need to do is get yourself a piece of pipe. I got an aluminum pipe here, and you just set that where you want the ride to start, and you just tap her into the ground. All right, set her up. All right, you need another kind of pipe, maybe something other than aluminum. Yeah, go with your steel on that. The aluminum's not going to do it, but there, we're all set. And don't even think about using a piece of eaves trough. That's, and of course the plastic drain pipe, out of the question. Okay, stick this into our pipe here, and we're almost ready to start charging $3 a pop. But we're going to need something to hang on here for the little kiddies to sit in. Well, for starters, how about a bucket seat? Or these old milk cartons can be turned into seats, and you can get these for free behind one of them variety stores if they're closed. Of course, you know, when I was growing up, we always used tires, so why not use a tire as one of your seats, and that's 3 of the 4 corners, and for the 4th corner, something a little interesting, get yourself an old potty seat and hook that on it. That could be kind of dangerous on a windy day. All right, I've used these stuffed animals to represent kids. Crash test teddies. Got them off of Moose's bed. So, of course, now we need some sort of power to drive this unit. Now, you could use, say, an old electric drill or maybe a lawnmower or something, or you could take some bed sheets and make a wind-powered unit. But what I've done is I've attached a plastic-covered wire, clothes wire type thing here, and coiled it all around the shaft and then hooked it right up to the back of the Possum van. If you didn't have a Possum van, you could hook it up to the back of your car or whatever. And the idea being, of course, that when you drive away, it tends to spin this. And what you could do here is first thing in the morning, you pop your kids into their ride, and then you just fire off to work. And probably by the time you come home, they've stopped spinning. So just before I give her a try, I want to remember until next time, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. All right, the midway is open.
This is the part of the show where we expose the 3 little words that men find so difficult to say. I don't know. So, here to prove that point is my Uncle Red, and of course his bestest, most best friend, Mr. Bob Stuyvesant. Alrighty, here we go. Dear experts, my nephew is coming to stay with me for the summer.
Well, you certainly have my sympathy.
And I don't really have a lot of habits or activities that would interest a 10-year-old boy. Do you have any suggestions?
Don't think I really understand the question.
Me neither, Harold.
Well, his nephew, he's coming to stay, and he wants to make sure that he has fun, so.
Right.
Well, he wants to make sure that the boy has fun on the summer when he's there.
Why?
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, there's probably hundreds of things that a young lad can do to have fun in the summer. I mean, let's see. There's, well, there's golf. Golf is great fun.
Well, he's 10. He might be a little bit small for golf.
Okay. Mini golf.
Okay, well, is there any other ideas?
Well, sure. I mean, there must be lots of things you can do with a kid, aren't there, Red?
Oh, yeah.
Could we be a little more specific?
You know, my sister, when she used to come at Christmas and bring the kids, I used to play this little game with them called Adapt. That worked out pretty well.
Adapt. Oh, okay. How does that work?
Well, it's easy, really. The adults, they do absolutely anything they want, and the kids have to adapt. Sort of an old-fashioned family tradition thing.
Sounds like an educational game, too, Harold.
I'm guessing you don't have anybody staying with you this summer.
No. So far, it's working great.
It is winter. When I was young, we never had fights in hockey. But we also never had helmets, or protective pads, or shields on our skate blades, or smooth ice. We used broken, splintered sticks and a brick for a puck, and big hard rocks for the posts, but we never had fights. We didn't need fights. Hap? Hap, is that you?
Oh, hi, Red. You like my outfit?
Yeah, it's shiny.
Brings back memories of my days as an astronaut. One small step for Neil Armstrong, a piece of cake for me.
Astronaut, right. Yeah. Well, I suppose if it stops the magnetism from bothering you.
Magnetism? What magnetism is that, Red?
Well, half the whole lake is magnetized. Didn't you hear about that?
Oh, Buster Hadfield mentioned something about that, but you know that guy in his stories. It's the worst liar I've met since Howard Hughes.
Yeah. Well, Hap, if you didn't know anything about the magnetism, what's the aluminum foil for?
Oh, it's part of an experiment I'm doing on time travel. But I can't go into details on that now.
Good, good. You know, none of our outboard motors are working because of that magnet thing. And I'm thinking, you've got the diesel engine here. This thing might work. You could maybe give me a ride into town.
Sure. Let me just ground the boat. Here's my boat hook.
You all right, Hap?
Yeah, I'm fine. You learn to deal with pain when you're an astronaut. No? Huh. Well, I better try a little trick that Hemingway showed me. Oh, sorry, Red. This magnetism thing must have messed up my motor. Or I'm out of fuel, or somebody has sabotaged my boat. I made a lot of enemies when I worked with the CIA.
Well, thanks anyway, Hap. And good luck with that time travel experiment thing.
Yeah, if it works and I go back in time, I'll try to prevent the lake from getting magnetized. You know, with time travel, I can change history and alter the past.
Oh, you don't need time travel to do that, Hap. Boy, that magnetism in Possum Lodge. Man. It's really messing up the electronic equipment and all of our zippers and everything. And Harold, touch my finger, will you?
No way, I know that trick.
Oh, Harold, I just need you to ground me.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know, I got some anti-static spray for my switcher. We'll use that. It's good stuff.
Thanks, Harold, and don't ever do that again.
It's okay, Uncle Red. You think maybe we should, like, maybe phone the government or maybe even somebody who knows something?
No, we can't, Harold. The phone lines are humming with static. Can't even drive into town because all the cars are stuck to an old fire hydrant. And that whole mess is being circled by some pretty unhappy dogs, I'll tell you.
You know what, Uncle Red? Maybe this is like aliens or something. It could be aliens and they're planning to land on Possum Lake.
Well, Harold, if they capture you, make it clear to them that you're not a normal Earth person, okay? There's no telling what they'd do if they thought we were all like you. Oh, no, Harold, don't do that. I'm not finished talking yet.
Well, I know, but it takes 40 seconds, you know, because of the magnetism, so.
Yeah, but I don't like a deadline, Harold. I don't, you know, what do I do now?
Just talk for 40 seconds. Well, 30 because you and I talk, but talk.
Yeah, all right. Okay, 30. Okay, 30 seconds. Help me out here, Harold.
Oh, well, because of the magnetism, tell them how the aluminum boat's sticking to the underbelly of the diving board.
All right, okay, the aluminum boat. Yeah. No. I know, septic tank. Okay, we got a steel septic tank. She's galvanized on there, but she started shaking back and forth like this, and of course, at Sunday school picnic about 50 yards away, and the whole thing. It doesn't really matter how old and tired you grow. You always will remember that first kiss so long ago. Were you kidding? I got my first kiss from Mary Brown. It was lovely, it was sweet. I opened my lips and ate it, because it was a Halloween treat. One of them brown ones, Harold, with a black and orange wrapper. I tried to pick the best one. Because I figured if I couldn't handle a treat, a trick would be out of the question. Up at the lodge, we have an attitude about signs. and that pretty well explains it. Except, of course, for this sign, because it is time for Adventures with Bill. Bill had asked me to drop down by the lake, and he was going to launch a boat. That's kind of a beauty, isn't it? The trailer is a little bit overkill. Anyway, we hoisted it up there and put her on, and one thing I did remember at this point, which is you're supposed to tie the front of the boat down. Anyway, Bill figured it out, right, Bill? Yeah, we know. Anyway, he pulled that down and hooked her up, and then but by golly, what a beautiful day for launching a boat. Bill's gonna get in there, and away you go. Oh. As I say, a real nice day, and you get a big line up there, people waiting to launch their boats and whatever, and you know, it's funny, you'd think boaters would be kind of freewheeling, easy to get along with, but by golly, you know, they're starting to get a little upset, honking their horns and what have you. I felt we were making our best efforts, you know, to get the boat in. It's not easy, not a lot easy launching a boat, you know. I mean, you've had the whole winter where you really haven't had a chance to, you know, practice launching the boat or anything. So this is the first time in for us, and by God, let's have a little patience here. Okay, things go wrong. That can happen. Anyway, now we're getting there. Attaboy, Bill, and we're gonna get crank her up there. What he's trying to do now is line up the hitch with the hitch. No, the ball with the hitch on the, and I'm gonna back because I got the ball, and then we're taking it, and what a beautiful day. And I come back there, and and Bill, we needed a third person, I think, someone to kind of coordinate. Isn't that a beautiful day? Look at the boats, look at the ducks there. The fly, little duckies fly. Yeah. Oh, that's great, Bill. And the balance. You should try water skiing maybe later once we get that boat. Anyway, we get her all set up, and we're okay now and everything. He's gonna rig her up. This is smart. This is a time saver. You put your stuff in the boat before you launch your boat, and that way, you're not holding the other people up. You know, they can just launch their boats because you're out of the way. And well, my golly, it's a beautiful day. Yeah. Oh, this is it. Finally, we figured it. Unfortunately, here I was so upset that I backed up a little crooked, and the boat went right over Bill. Well, I hope he's okay. Bill. Yeah. Now here's something for kids, which does not represent the views or opinions of any intelligent human life form. Harold?
Hi. This next segment is a pilot for a brand new show, which, you know, I think is really going to catch on because it's got all the great ingredients. You know, it's got like action, adventure, excitement, and me. It's a show that lets people live their dreams, you know. It's entitled If I Were God. All right. So all you had to do is send in your videos showing me what you would do if you were God. But because it's a pilot, you know, there's no way you could have sent in your videos yet, so I guess I'm going to have to do the first one, okay? So here I go, I'm going to do the first one. Well, if I were God, I'd end all wars and diseases and starvation, but I would make sure that everyone has cable.
Harold, what are you doing in here?
I'm pretending that I was God.
Well, you can't do that, Harold. God doesn't have homework.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. I'm gonna do it right now.
All right, fine.
I wonder what would happen though if I were God.
Well, that would probably put an end to religion.
Yeah.
Boy, Glenn, you seem pretty chipper in the face of disaster. The lake is magnetized, or didn't you know?
Oh, no, I know, Red. But the RV is 60% aluminum, so, you know, that's non-magnetic, of course.
Yeah, and the rest is all Bondo and duct tape. But I was more concerned about your boats, and more importantly, your customers who bought them.
Oh, yeah. Well, none of the boats are running, Red, so nobody's called to complain yet.
Yeah, well, the phones aren't working either.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Glenn, I just wondered if you have any idea what we could do to demagnetize the lake. You ever had any kind of experience like that?
Well, you know, Red, I did have a problem with the fridge once in the RV here.
Yeah.
Kept sliding back and forth, kept squishing the cat. So I magnetized it. Well, then that was no good, so I had to demagnetize it because the door, I couldn't get it open.
Oh, gosh. So how did you demagnetize it?
Well, I took a balloon, I rubbed it against my head, and I touched it. I'm just pulling your leg, Red. I'm sorry. No, what I did was I made myself an electromagnet.
Yeah.
And I hooked it up to the RV batteries.
Yeah.
So it was 4 times 72 amps.
You know, something like that just might work, Glenn.
Well, I hope not, Red. I'm kind of getting used to the phone not ringing.
Oh, Glenn, how can you say that? You got about 1,000 people mad at you. You can't do any repairs and you can't sell any boats.
Yeah, I know. I blame the economy.
Oh, yeah, that's rough right there.
Government. Huh? We voted them in.
They take away your initiative.
What are you gonna do?
What's the point in trying?
What are you gonna do, Red?
Not a flaming thing.
You go out there and you bust your hump, and what happens? You got no leisure time. You got no time to enjoy anything. All it is work, 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 work.
Boy, this is inconvenient. Well, we figured out how to demagnetize the lake. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a gigantic electromagnet out of the possum van. We've wrapped her with about, I think, 500 yards of tinfoil. And we're gonna hotwire that whole unit into the local power grid, which we can tap into, we figure, 50 trillion megavolts, which I believe gives us somewhere in the range of 500,000 kilowatts, something like that, which will be just enough to exactly demagnetize the lake, or possibly reverse the Earth's polarity and send the moon hurtling into the sun. Oh, here we go. Wow, that was a total success. Uncle Red! Holy jeez, Harold, what are you, the Terminator or the Tin Man? My retainer got welded to my fillings. I can't talk. Oh, no, that's a setback, Harold. Oh, it's meeting time. Yeah, Harold. Don't talk with your mouth fused. You go ahead, I'll be right down. Hey. Well, hopefully the North Pole is back where it should be, where the sun don't shine, and that's about it for this show. So if my wife is watching, I'll be coming home straight after the meeting. Maybe we can do a little test to see if opposites attract. Might help if we were Polish, right? Lodge humor, gotta love it. And to the rest of you, on behalf of myself and Mr. Magneto Head and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, thanks so much for watching, and keep your stick on the ice. I guess you realize that all the magnetism that's come out of the lake and gone somewhere else.